everybody.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm chewing in front of you guys.
I'm going to be too. I'm eating yogurt and nuts.
Good. I'm doing the same thing. Coach Lisa. Yeah, baby.
So I've lost 5 inches since last week.
Shut up.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome. You know what? You look kind of perky too. I like your hair like that.
Oh, thanks. My little ponytail.
Yeah, look at me. I just ran in from watching my granddaughter at the pool. I look like the
Oh.
cat just brought me in.
Well, that's fun to do.
Oh, it is, man. I just, you know, those grandkids.
Nothing like grandchildren.
Well, hello, Jackie. This is your one lost sheep.
Well, I have a lot of those. Is that Barbara?
Well, it's Barbara. How are you? Long time.
Barbara, wish I could.
I'm back.
Are you just
I'm
on
back.
the phone?
What?
Are you on the phone or do you have a camera?
Yeah, I'm on phone. I'm just finishing work. My daughter just got home from cruise, so I'm trying to get her dinner.
That's okay. I'm so happy you joined us.
But I need help because I sent 2 requests for reset password and then also sent an email to just the contact us, and I haven't heard from anybody, so I can order my GLA and CLA.
You're kidding. You mean on the website?
Yeah, through the website.
Usually the webmaster's right on it.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe somebody can help me connect with the webmaster.
Okay, I'll check it. Can you send me an email?
Yeah, I'll send you a message.
I'll get on
Yeah,
it right
will
away. Yeah.
will do. Thank you, because I'm ready.
Oh, heck yeah.
I did my Manatech in between meetings today.
Good.
Well,
You know, I've been through a lot of companies for, God, I don't know, 40, 50 years. And the Manatech products are still, I mean,
The
there's a lot of
best.
companies out there with great products, but what we use the Manatech products for, those are the best.
yeah, yes. So
And you can't beat the Plus.
no, you can't. You
And you
can't.
can't find anything. There's a couple of similar things to Osaline, but not the same,
Not the same. No,
you know,
I've learned.
just the way it goes, babe.
I know.
All right, so who's area code 309?
Me, Luann Berry. Hi, girl.
Hey, Luann, another lost sheep.
Yeah, and you know what? I just wanted to interrupt there to help your friend there with the GLA and the CLA. I
Okay.
had a terrible time, remember? And they said for me to call you. I hated that so much. But anyway, I did, and you helped me so much, and I've not had a bit of problem ever since.
Awesome, thank you, Luann.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah, so Barbara,
Well,
send me an email and
I
I'll
will.
see what I can do.
Or message you. Can I message you on Facebook Messenger?
It's, yeah, either one. Can you?
Okay.
It's
I don't know if I
usually,
have your email, Jackie.
it's fleshyourfatforgood@gmail.com.
Oh, okay. All right. And I was going to say, we wander, but we always find our way back home, don't we?
I know. What is it? The fold? You're coming back to the fold?
Yes. The
That's
sheep
funny.
coming back to the fold. Yes.
Okay, I got area code 520. Is that Linda? No. Yes. Okay, I got it.
I made it.
So proud of you. I can't stand it.
It worked this time. I was disappointed last week.
I don't know what happened.
I don't either.
Some weird stuff happened last week, though. We had, didn't we?
Yes.
That things went muted, and I don't know what was wrong with all that stuff. Okay,
That's Zoom.
I'm hoping Michelle gets on. I saw her in the Facebook room. She's like, "What? You mean we can eat quinoa?" Yes. So this is a recording. I have it set up. I'm learning how to do this better and better. And I already had it set up as a recording so I don't forget. And I just want to, for all those that you guys can't see, because I'm going to share a screen here. And we're going to get going on talking about quinoa. But I want to make sure, does anybody have any questions before we get started? Got Barbara's problem handled. That's good. And
You eat yogurt nuts twice in a day?
sometimes just once, depends, you know, because the brain gets trained. And sometimes your brain says, you know, you need more of the yogurt, you need, your gut requires it, or the fiber of the oils in the nuts, you need that. And when you don't want something hot, you don't want to go cook, you don't, you know, you're not in the mood for a big salad, all of a sudden you walk around, you go, oh, you know what? Yogurt and nuts is going to work for me. So sometimes I
And
do.
it does.
Yeah, and it does. I do yogurt and nuts sometimes after my latte, and that's good enough. And then later on, I'll have a larger protein meal. Then I'll have my latte. And then after my, you know, maybe it could be like a dinner time, late night time. I'm like, you know, it's hot. I've eaten a lot of protein. I just want some yogurt and nuts. Now I do that with fruit too. I do a lot of fruit sometimes when it's really, really hot. And my body's telling me, hi, Sharon. My body's
Hi.
there she is. Don't forget to put
Wait,
your phone on mute.
I'm on the phone as well.
Okay,
For
put it
this.
on, put something on mute.
I'll mute the computer.
Okay, cool. So a lot of times
Sorry.
you know, when the summer comes and the fruit is so good, and I love frozen cherries and mangoes and all those Fuji apples, the organic Fuji apples, honest to God, they make your legs weak.
Okay.
I see you. Okay, we got Clara. Hi, Clara. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I just want to get right into this. Oh, yay! Good book, girlfriend. You know, if you just, sometimes I let God just, when I open up the book, it's like, I'll open up a book and I'll say, okay, what do you want me to read today? A lot of times when we were writing the book and when we finally got it into print, I'd open it up every once in a while, not front to back. I'm not a front to back reader. I'm like, I have to skim through everything and see what grabs my attention. But I would open it up to see, what is the message today? What do I need to know? So you can try that if you've read it a couple of times, because then it's like, oh my God, I forgot about that. That's right. Sometimes I know we did such major research in that book. And the greatest thing is we had, you know, the man who wrote Harper's Biochemistry, especially the chapter on monosaccharides or glycoproteins. He's a friend of ours. We call him Scotty. And I'll go in there and I'll remember what we were working on. And I go, God, that's good. That's really good stuff. So, okay. So today what we're going to do, and I'm hearing some feedback. Are you guys hearing feedback?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Many of you guys should probably just mute your lines if there's feedback. And then when you want to talk, go ahead and raise your hand or something. I don't know how that works around here yet, but who's eating quinoa?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I love that commercial where the guy says, you know, he's a coach and he's trying to make you not become like your parents if you get progressive insurance. And, you know, he says, okay, we're all going to open up a PDF now. Who knows how to do that? And they all back off. Oh, I don't know that. And then they'll sit, he goes, now observe how this man sits down in the chair. And he sits down and then he goes, ah. He goes, does that remind you of someone? You know, like, yeah, who's dad or whatever. the next thing is he has a sign and it says quinoa, but he's having them all try to pronounce it. And all of these people taking the course, how not to become like their parents, they're like quinoa, quanan, and they're going back and forth. And he says, no, we've got a lot of learning to do. So it's called quinoa, right? And I want to share, and for all those that don't have the screen, I'm going to be kind of reading part of it for the things I really want you all to know about, because, you know, quinoa is better than you guys think or have ever known. And it's going to be, Michelle, finally.
Yes, I'm here. I couldn't, I don't know why I kept passing by the post that had the Zoom info on it.
Well, it's only the first on the top. I don't care. You're here. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna be, I want to share my screen on an article. There you go, Sharon, good girl. That's the one I get. And
If I end up taking my video off, it's just because I have to eat and I don't want to disturb people.
that's fine. We don't care if you're eating. I'm eating.
Well,
Put your camera down just a touch so I can see more than your glasses. There you go.
yeah.
Hey, you look a little better than the last time I saw you.
I'm doing, 90% better with what I'm supposed to do. I set up all of my supplements in weekly things for like however many I had to make like 3 or 4 weeks worth.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me sit down. Say that again? You're getting organized?
A little bit.
I'm impressed.
I made eggs with veggies twice this week so that I had it for a couple days in a row.
God bless you.
One time I made the chicken salad and had it for a few days. Haven't quite gotten that one again.
Okay, so were these difficult things to accomplish?
No, not really.
What'd you say?
Not really. No.
You have about 15 witnesses here, so.
I also have exercised every day except Sunday.
Oh, good Lord, Mary. Well, what, are you taking this seriously?
Yeah.
Good girl.
Yeah, like yeah.
Good.
I already feel a little bit better. I don't want to get
No,
overconfident.
it doesn't matter. You're 90% going into the program, the lifestyle. And you know what? It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you get up. And the way you're getting up right now, I'm very impressed. I'm very pleased.
My GI Zyme. I know.
Girl. See? Is that your cran flush?
Yes, that's one, and I'm doing that more, but still not as much as I should. But that's one supplement that for whatever reason I just like kept forgetting all the time.
Yeah, I know. I used to tape it on the back of my hand. Okay, so the quinoa. Go ahead, Sharon, put the quinoa bag up there. Look at this girl, she's got it down. Excellent. That's from Costco. You can, isn't that, yeah, that's Costco. You can also get it from Sprouts. You can get it anywhere. You can order it online. It'll come to you. But I've eaten it from time to time and really enjoyed it. I do not spruce up my hot cereals to make things sweet, because then next time you want it sweeter, and then you want it sweeter, and you're really supposed to enjoy the flavor of foods without messing it up, right? So not too long ago, I guess, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, I was getting into quinoa, and I knew about quinoa, but I really didn't know all the things about quinoa. And I thought, it's really a good idea to know as much as you can, because what did I tell you guys last time? If you want to live a long time, you better figure out what you're putting in your mouth. So I thought, I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to go start looking for articles and science and things about quinoa. Why do I feel good on this? What is it? Now, you know, quinoa is a seed. It's not a grain. So, you know, we put nuts and seeds in our yogurt. We don't mix in our chicken salad nuts and seeds because that's a plant protein into a flesh protein. We don't mix that.
But we
So-
can put nuts in quinoa?
Yes, you can.
Wow,
But are you saying quinoa on phase one though?
Yes.
that's what I didn't
Really?
know all this time. I love quinoa.
That's so awesome. It's so good with butter or coconut oil.
I
Yes.
thought it was a grain. Even though I know it's a complete protein, I thought it was a grain in this sense.
No, everybody
Wow.
does. Everybody thinks it's a grain and they call it a grain. Many times people just call it a grain. And I'm like, this is really weird because, you know, there's a lot of information going around these days. And I thought, I want to set the record straight because I don't think you guys really know that this is a good thing to have. Okay, so
Wow.
I'm hearing noise somewhere. Where am I hearing that? Is it you, baby? Sharon, okay, thank you. So what I want to do is share this page. I found an article that I usually go to these people, Simply Health. I like them. I go to many medical sites to see what they know. And mostly I like to go to this site because they deal with natural cures and they also really get extensive with the food that I'm interested in. So I pulled this one up and for all you guys that don't have cameras, all you people that do have cameras, just bear with me because I'm going to be reading down the page, but I'm going to emphasize what I want you to know and remember because I'm beside myself on how great this is. So here we go. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, can you see that page? Everybody can see that page? Okay, for all you guys that can't see the page, this is from Simply.
Yes.
Okay, yes, for everyone. This is from simplyhealth.io. That's how weird a site this is. And I'm going to be reading down the page here. And then it's 14 quinoa nutritional facts you probably don't know. And tell you the truth, I didn't know either. I know a lot, but I didn't know all this. So I'm going to try to go through this as fast as I can, but there's some things I'm going to emphasize because I think it's really important that you understand what this product can do for your body. And that's why Flush Your Fat for Good to be lean and healthy for life. It's a lifestyle for a lifetime. So we need to know some of the foods that we're eating. You know, they used to say you are what you eat. It's really you are what she ate. They didn't realize how important a pregnant woman, what she ate went to the baby. But after that, we are what we eat. And so therefore, I think adding quinoa to your life in phase one is going to be, well, you'll see why it's going to be good for you. So I'm coming over here. And this says 14 quinoa nutritional facts you probably don't know. There is no doubt that you have heard of quinoa. After all, it's pretty much everywhere you turn. From quinoa fried rice to quinoa salads. Now, you know, we're not doing that. We're not frying quinoa. It's become an ingredient featured in many dishes and has become one of the most popular foods for those who are trying to improve their health and lose weight. But what exactly is quinoa and why has it become such a big deal? Well, it goes on to say, it's said to be a pseudo grain. Quinoa comes from South America and has been consumed for centuries. Today, it's still considered a grain, but it's not. It's a pseudo grain, to be exact. Though in reality, it isn't a grain at all. See, everybody's thinking this. But rather it's a seed. So who's got a question? No. So what do we do with our seeds and nuts?
Soak 'em.
There you go. Who's that, Big Bill? Okay.
Lynn,
Whoever said that. Okay. So with your quinoa, you're going to put it in a bowl. You're going to put about an inch and a half of water over the quinoa. So I would recommend, Michelle,
Yes.
make a lot so you don't have to do it every day. And then you put like a nice, I guess, a heaping teaspoon, heaping tablespoon, whatever, how much you got in there, into the quinoa water. Mix it all up, put a plate on top, cover it, and let it soak overnight. When you see it in the morning, there's going to be bubbles up on top because it's digesting. It's all converting into more protein, and it's starting to start the sprouting process, just like with our nuts and other seeds. You're going to tip the bowl, or if you have something to hold it so it doesn't fall out, you're going to drain out all that water. Then you're going to put a little more water in there and drain it all out, because like our nuts and seeds, they have phytates. So we want to take all those phytates off. And then you've got it all cleaned out, and you're going to put it in a pot. Then you're going to put another 1.5 inches of water over that. And you're going to slowly bring it to a boil. Once you see the water starting to evaporate in the pot, turn off the heat, put the lid on it, and let the rest of it simmer till all the water is out. You'll see little holes on the top of it, but you do not want to, cook it to where it's real mushy, and you want it to be in a nice texture. So overcooking is not good. Anyway, then what you're going to wind up doing is you put like about 1/2 cup to a cup into a bowl, and you put wonderful grass-fed butter on that. You don't need a sweetener. You can do like, who was it? Sharon? I think it was Sharon. You said coconut oil, right? Coconut oil is good, but I like the grass-fed.
Or butter.
Yeah, I like the grass-fed butter because you get that CLA in there. As long as it's Irish is good. Can't remember the whole name. Irish butter. And then they have grass-fed organic butters. They have wonderful butters, and that's a good addition.
Kerrygold.
Yeah, Kerrygold. Who said that?
Can I show you how I soak it? Can I show you how I soak it? Because with quinoa, it's so hard because, but I do it this. I have a big strainer, and I put the quinoa in there, and then I put the salt water in a big bowl. Maybe that's what you were saying. I don't know. But I soak it like that in a big bowl, a big Tupperware bowl or something. And then I can just rinse it out like that
Okay,
after I soak it in salt water.
brilliant. That's all I can say is that's brilliant.
great
I'm
idea.
gonna do that from now on.
And
So-
I lift it out and I just rinse it out and everything there, and I can rinse it quite a bit, and then I just dump it in, and that's been really handy.
Excellent, excellent idea. All right, so we're gonna go on.
Is there a specific,
Specific what? Is that Linda?
No,
Who was that? I thought I heard. Okay. If you guys see me going like this, it's because I have 3 screens. And I have one screen here, I have another screen here, and I have another screen here. So I'm like, I can see you all, but I'm like this. All right.
They're getting pretty high tech on us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, really high tech. I can barely zoom. So today is still considered a grain, but it's a pseudo grain. We eat it much like we eat other grains, whether you call it a seed or a grain. We call it a seed. Quinoa is failed, failed. I don't know what that means. Quinoa is failed, a superfood, or for good reason. That's a stupid sentence. So here's a look at 10 awesome nutritional facts. Okay, we're going to talk about nutritional facts about quinoa. So knowledge is power. Quinoa is naturally gluten-free. So if Katie ever gets on here, Katie's got gluten problems. This is good for her. People who have celiac disease cannot consume gluten as their bodies cannot break it down. Okay, I'm getting feedback from somebody. So somebody, okay. Those who do not have celiac disease, but are sensitive to gluten can also experience negative effects when they eat products that contain gluten. Moi, that's me, I'm not good. So, however, gluten seems to be everywhere, and while it may have adverse effects on those who cannot tolerate it, gluten does offer some health benefits. I know that, but I can't have it all the time. I just don't do well with it. And a lot of people don't. Since quinoa is naturally gluten-free and has a texture that is similar to rice, other gluten-based products, it is a safe alternative to gluten for those who cannot tolerate it. Whether you have been diagnosed with celiac disease, you have a gluten sensitivity, or you just want to cut gluten out of your diet, replacing rice, pasta, and that's what we do on phase 1, hello, and other gluten foods with quinoa is something you might want to consider. All right, so next. Go to the next page. There we go. Okay. It has a high protein content, and that's what we're always looking for. The more protein, the better. That's what phase 1's all about. And really, when you go into phase 2, you want to keep that mindset as well. You do not want to reverse that with more starches and less proteins. And a lot of people get into that habit because if you do too many starches, it converts to sugar, and now you're an addict again. You don't want that. And you'll start craving sweets. And that happens when people go into phase 2. They're like, oh man, I can have bread, you know, and then it blows everything. So, you know, it is called phase 1, phase 2, and you have to be managed through it so you keep under control, because your brain is trained and it knows what's good for your body. Unlike other grains, even though, as we mentioned, it's not only a grain, quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids, meaning those are the building blocks of your entire body. It's considered a complete protein, which, you know, beans is not, people think beans are a protein, it's a starch. But if you put a grain with a bean, that's a complete protein. That's why they do beans and rice. But it's still a starch, and it's still going to create issues. So in other words, it is likened to animal protein. Now think about that. That blew me away, because which makes it an excellent way for vegetarians and vegans to ensure they are getting the vital proteins that their body needs. So to have a grain, well, it's not a grain, but to have this seed and prepared to where it tastes like an incredible rice dish is equal to animal protein. This is a great benefit for us, and it's an important addition to building our muscles, our organs, our body, our blood, bone, everything. A single cup of cooked quinoa has around 8 grams of protein. That's a lot, which is roughly the same protein content in a single egg. So if you like 1 cup, have 2. Now you have 2 eggs. So whether you don't eat meat at all, or you are trying to reduce your consumption of meat, or you are just looking for another food that can increase your protein intake and build muscle. And what's one of the most important muscles we have in our body?
Our heart.
Thank you. Who said that? Margie?
Michelle.
Michelle,
Hey, I got a few smarts here.
get down with your bad self.
Yeah, that
So
girl goes car.
I'm very impressed with Michelle. All of a sudden, she's improving everything, including her brain. So it's so that a single cup, you know, when you take out a single cup out of the pot and you put butter on that, you're so satisfied. But if you want a little more than that, that's fine. So this is basically building muscle. Quinoa is a food that you should definitely add to your diet. Plus it is nice, meaty texture, which makes it incredibly filling, which I just said. And you do feel tremendously satisfied. Now, this is what I really liked here, because our subject is to lose fat, but also to feel good. I mean, you don't want to look good in your casket. You know, there's a lot of diets out there. And
Oh, I
you
will.
but we're all going to live long and in the triple digits, right? So we have to, we want to die on our terms. We don't want to die because we didn't take care of ourselves. Well, I guess that's your term too, but not with us. So now it can facilitate weight loss. This I found fascinating, especially since not too long ago, I got a very, you know, watching grandkids, all you guys that have grandkids, you know, all of a sudden you've got your 2-year-old in your arms and you're playing. And next thing you know, she's sneezing. Next thing you know, she has a fever. Next thing you know, she's got snot running all over her. Next thing you know, she goes home with mom and dad. And I'm stuck with a sore throat and sick for the next week with a head, chest, cold, the whole bit. So, but it got so bad because I've always had sinus trouble, and where I live is like, it's like a monsoon. These winds come in and it's like, whoa. So I got a sinus infection, but the doctor put me on an antibiotic that a week later he called me and he said, you know, the test we took, the sample, the antibiotic that I gave you is not sensitive to your bacteria. I'm like, oh God, great. So he had to give me another antibiotic, which was really strong. And between the two of them, they killed, because this is what antibiotics do, they killed the bacteroides in my gut, which antibiotics kill the good bacteria that digest your protein. And then something happened to me not too long ago after I started feeling really good and I'm well. I thought, you know, I feel like ribs. Well, that was the worst. I wasn't thinking. I was 30 days on an antibiotic that killed all the probiotics that extract the nutrients and help to digest my proteins. Beef ribs are really heavy protein. And they tasted good at the time, but for the next 2 weeks, I had the worst cramps. And I'm thinking, you know, I know better, but we're all humans and we make stupid mistakes. And when you're watching kids, grandkids, when you're trying to deal with your animals and run your business and blah, 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 sometimes you make a mistake and you don't think. I didn't take my GI-Zyme. I didn't, I thought, you know, I didn't eat just maybe 1 or 2. I thought 8 would be great. So 8 big ribs. And the next thing I would come downstairs and I'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then I really appreciated my probiotics and my enzymes. And most people, it takes 6 to 9 months to get those back. But
Wow.
yeah, and then you always have digestive issues. But if you take care of yourself and you know the tricks of the trade, that your enzymes and your probiotics, these are the pipes of life. All right, Michelle? Don't, and if you forget your enzymes, Tape it on the back of your hand. All right, so here's about weight loss. Not only does quinoa contain a high amount of protein, but it's also packed a lot of insoluble fiber. Both of these nutritional facts combined make you feel full longer after you eat the pseudo grain. Naturally, when you feel more satisfied, you are less likely to eat in excess. Well, we don't really have that problem, but that's good, which certainly aids in weight loss. Furthermore, scientific studies have suggested, this is what I found fascinating, suggested that quinoa may help to activate insulin, ghrelin, and peptides hormones that can aid in weight loss. Who knew?
Give me a bowl tomorrow.
So, I mean, that's fascinating to me because this is about our gut right now, and that's the pipes of life.
Mhm.
Remember, I think it's 90% of your immune system's in your gut. So
Mhm.
we're learning about something here that is a miracle for us. This food also contains a lot of manganese, which helps with digestion, making it easier to digest your food in a more efficient manner. Lastly, a recent study conducted in Paris revealed that eating quinoa on a regular basis can help to increase the amount of energy the body expends, which also can help with weight loss. So to me, that's just a plus in anybody's life.
So this combined with GI Zyme, you're like in super mode.
And your probiotics, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't really have to do GI Zyme with this unless you have terrible digestive issues. And then
Got it.
I would probably do that. It can't hurt. Taking
How long of digestion time is it? 2 hours then after quinoa?
No, quinoa is a seed. So it's going to keep you pretty full for 4 hours.
Oh, okay. So it's 4 hours then.
So same as a same rules as protein.
Yes. But,
Yeah.
and you can also throw, I think it was Michelle asked or something, you can throw other things in there like almonds, walnuts.
Mhm.
I'm on a pecan kick right now.
So plant proteins we can add
Yeah.
to that, you're
Yes.
saying?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. And then a fat like coconut oil or butter. Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Or you could also make it like throw vegetables in it, make the way you would make a pasta salad, but use the quinoa.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
Okay. The veggies or something. Okay.
That's what
Wow.
What, Margie?
That's what I want to know, if we could put vegetables in it.
Yeah, make it like a little salad, and put your vegetables in it with some greens, and you can throw a few more like walnuts in there or whatever. Make sure your nuts are soaked though.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
You can
And
mix,
then can we put our lemon mayo dressing on it, Jackie? If you're adding the veggies, or just use the butter and veggies?
yeah. Well, if you have the butter on the depends.
Quinoa, then yeah.
I mean, mayo is a fat, so however you
Yeah.
want to do that. But to me, you could do that,
Well, if you were doing a salad.
Yes, I love it just by itself as a protein and as a bowl of cereal. That's the way I like it. And I have at least a cup to a cup and a half, and I'm really full. Especially, I've had my latte. I think you need to go on mute, somebody. I think with you do your latte, and then you do the quinoa. Good Lord, you're good for 4 hours for sure.
Mm.
wow.
All right, so another nutritional benefit of quinoa that may come as a surprise is the fact that it is believed that this superfood can help to prevent certain types of cancer. I'm always interested in that because I had a lot of family members that got cancer, and my mom passed of cancer. That is because it contains a high amount of antioxidants. And antioxidants have properties that naturally fight off cancer, and we know that. So furthermore, it contains of other nutrients that can stave off cancer, including saponin, lunasin, and quercetin. We all learned about quercetin in the antioxidants that come from Manitech. And there's a whole story on that, but quercetin is outstanding to have in your life. So through the research, findings that support these nutrients can be beneficial for cancer prevention. All right, so I'm going to go on. Next, it promotes a healthy gut. We already been through that, but there was something in here I found interesting. Studies have found that quinoa serves as a prebiotic. Prebiotic is what helps the probiotics, or compounds of fiber that your body cannot digest and work alongside probiotic enzymes that help to free helpful bacteria that resides within the gut. So because of the fiber itself, it helps to loosen up some of the probiotics and get them activated. To elaborate further, quinoa contains butyrate. Now, you guys have learned about that in a new product recently, haven't you? In, I think Manitech has Defense. Isn't it called Defense?
Yeah, defense, yes.
Something like that, right?
Yes.
Which may be able to combat conditions that affect the gut, such as inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, and Crohn's disease. So a lot of people thought they can't eat quinoa because they have inflammation of the gut, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, things like this. But in actuality, this is a benefit to them. And very helpful with losing weight. By increasing butyrate levels, inflammation in the gut can be decreased. And who knew that? Because usually you think, God, if you're taking down, eating something that is like a rice or whatever, or seed, you're thinking that might be too harsh on the gut lining, but not truly, because inflammation in the gut can be decreased and may help to combat the aforementioned conditions. Moreover, quinoa also contains succinic acid, which has also been found to serve as an anti-inflammatory agent for the gut. All these things combined means that if you eat quinoa on a regular basis, you may be able to improve the health of your gut and prevent the development of certain conditions of the gut, or reverse these conditions if you have been diagnosed with them. Now, you know, a lot of people have a lot of gut problems, especially if they're overweight. And sometimes it hasn't been their fault that they have gained a lot of weight because they're not digesting and absorbing. Plus Your Fat for Good is all about, it's based on biochemistry and physiology, and it's all about digestion, absorption, and elimination. Now, this is about losing weight, but also with other health conditions. If you cannot digest the foods properly and absorb the nutrients of the foods you're feeding your body, that is sent through the bloodstream to go everywhere, your brain, your lungs, your heart, your everywhere in your body, your liver, your kidneys, anything that has to be build, repair, and maintain the integrity of everything in your body, that comes from your foods. And if you can't digest and absorb, you're going to be lacking. That's why we have to food combine. Because if you don't, it takes 8 hours for your foods to pass. If you food combine, it's only 4 hours for the protein. Plus, if you food combine, you're receiving almost all of those nutrients because they're digesting properly. If you're not food combining, then you're getting about 20 to 30% of the foods that you're eating. So you're shortchanging yourself big league. All right, so the next thing, I just love this article. It contain, all right, we already did that. Powerful antioxidants. Let's see, what do they have to say on this? Oh, it has been found that quinoa contains large amounts of antioxidants known as flavonoids. And we know about flavonoids and bioflavonoids. You know, when you eat an orange or a tangerine, I was always taught eat the skin or at least eat the white part from the orange and whatever citrus, because that's where the bioflavonoids are, which have been noted for their ability to prevent certain diseases. Polyphenols, a specific type of flavonoid, may be able to help prevent certain diseases that may be chronic or shorten your life expectancy, which is no good. We don't want to do that, such as cancer, diabetes, and osteoporosis. Furthermore, quinoa also contains high amounts of other important antioxidants that may play an important role in disease prevention, such as camphorol, quercetin, we talked about that, ferulic acid, and vanillic acid. Okay, so these antioxidants are noted for their ability to reduce inflammation. Inflammation is the major key to all diseases and aches and pains. Aches and all you have to do is have an inflamed joint somewhere, and you know how horrible that is. These antioxidants, blah, 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 blah. Okay, last but not least, quinoa also contains beta carotene. That's like beside me because I eat a lot of orange vegetables just to get the beta carotene and all the carotenoids, which has been found to fight off the damage that is caused by free radicals, which have also been found to play a major part in the development of certain chronic health conditions. This is all in quinoa, you guys. This is like killer to me. You know, I'm a cheap date. That quinoa is not very expensive, is it, Sharon? All right. Now,
This is $10, $11 for, you know, like 4.5 pounds, which makes 48 servings of half cup or fourth of cup, I guess. So yeah, it's reasonable per serving.
Really reasonable. Okay.
Yeah.
Mute your phone. Are you on mute? Nope. Okay. Somebody's got to mute. All right. So now it goes into more about heart. As was already mentioned, quinoa contains many nutrients that have anti-inflammatory properties, which are extremely important for the health of your heart. Most notably, these anti-inflammatory properties can help to prevent heart disease, which happens to be the leading cause of death in the world. That's because quinoa contains a high amount of fats that are good for the heart. Think about that. They contain a high amount of these little, once you find these little seeds, you're going to be, wow, that's like a high amount of fats that are good for your heart, such as trans fats, monounsaturated fats in the form of oleic acid, and an omega-3 fatty acid known as alpha linolenic acid. Now, that's just like mind-boggling to me, because when you eat this bowl of quinoa, you think you're eating like a cream of wheat or a cream of rice or you think you're eating like oatmeal or something. You're not. You're eating a whole bowl of this stuff. All of these things have been found to significantly decrease the risk of heart disease. So, and also quinoa can also help to reduce bad cholesterol levels, as well as blood pressure levels, which can drastically improve the health of your heart. And then there are heart healthy nutrients that quinoa contains, such as magnesium, butyrate, and potassium. All of these elements combined make quinoa very good for your heart. It's a heart food. You know how when you see, what's the oatmeal box with the old guy on it? I can't remember the name. What is it?
Quaker Oats.
Yeah, Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats. And it has a little heart symbol, good for your heart.
Yes.
it doesn't compare to this.
Yeah, I was going to say this might be 13 or 14. I mean, it might be more, and it is more expensive other places, but
Yeah.
it's reasonable, you know.
No, I think I got it at Costco for something like 11 or 12. So I think you're right. Okay, so it reduces the risk of developing diabetes. Now, we can understand that easily because you all have been trained about the protein helps with stabilizing your blood pressure, your blood sugar. And foods that are rich in manganese have been found to be one of the most important things you can do to maintain your blood sugar levels and keep them in a healthy range, thereby reducing the risk of developing diabetes. Since quinoa is so dense in manganese, it stands to reason that eating this food can help to lower your risk of diabetes. Now, when we're dealing with people that are extremely heavy, type 2 diabetes is just a common occurrence. So this is a benefit. The reason why manganese is effective for managing insulin levels and preventing diabetes is because it is believed that it aids in the process of converting amino acids, those are the proteins, into sugars, and also helps to balance the amount of sugar that enter the bloodstream. A lot of people that are, very obese, they have hyperinsulinemia, which is just the spillover of sugar in their blood, and it just gets out of control. This is something that could just be a beneficial food every single day. Several scientific studies have found that increasing your intake of magnesium can help to drastically lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And a single cup of quinoa contains about 1/3 of the recommended intake of magnesium. Why do you want to take magnesium? Unless that's a serious problem, because if it's best to get your nutrients from your foods. A lot of times, if you take certain things that are extracted out of foods, it's synthetic. Not a lot of times, if you take something out of the full food source, it is a synthetic. Okay, so we're just going to go on and move quickly here. Here's the thing: prevention of iron deficient anemia, because there is so much iron. Iron is vital for the body as it plays a fundamental role in the production of oxygen rich red blood cells. But if your body does not get enough iron, there is a good chance that you will suffer the condition of iron deficiency anemia. This goes on and on and on. Unfortunately, a lot of people, particularly women, do not get the amount of iron they need. Since quinoa contains a high amount of iron, who thought? Who knew? It can help stave off iron deficiency. I think this is just amazing. Okay. You guys can't picture it without your cameras, but there's a picture of red quinoa, black quinoa, and white quinoa. I like the white. I've tasted the red and the black, and they're just a little bit, it's okay. If you get into that, it's fine. But the white has a more mild, smoother taste. So there's a good reason why quinoa is regarded as a superfood. It's because it contains so many vital nutrients. So check this out. In one single cup, 5 grams of protein, 8 grams of protein. What's the difference there? 5 grams,
Yeah.
8 grams of protein. They already said 8 grams of protein before. So this is a clerical error. 58% of the recommended intake of manganese, 30% of the recommended intake of magnesium, 18% of the recommended intake of copper, 9% of the recommended intake of potassium. And you know what? The summer's coming, and a lot of you guys can take a pinch of your pink Himalayan salt and put it in your cran flush, because that'll help to keep you hydrated. But the potassium is very important too. You do not want to get dehydrated. You don't know when it's going to hit you, and man, it's bad. 15.
Hey, Jackie,
Yeah,
it looks like it should be 5 grams of fiber.
there you go. Thank you
I
very much.
Googled it.
Right on, 5 grams of fiber. Who said that? Who did that?
Barbara.
Not Michelle.
Thank you, Barbara.
You're welcome.
5 grams of, see, what a group this is. I love these. So 5 grams of fiber, 8 grams of protein. Okay, 9% of the recommended intake of potassium, 15% of suggested daily intake of iron. Okay, so all this is great. We're almost done here, and then I want to talk to you guys. This just talks about it's going in, how you prepare it. We know how to prepare it, a complete source, blah, 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 blah.
What was
All
number
this-
11 right there?
Complete protein
complete.
source.
Okay.
Yeah, we already went through that.
We did that.
They're being redundant right now,
Yeah, we are.
Mhm,
and they're making mistakes.
mhm.
But our crew is finding them.
Yeah.
All right. Many people who enjoy eating meat attest to the fact that a vegan, okay, whatever, we already went through that too. So that's magnesium. Magnesium is good. And I think that along with potassium, calcium, and vitamin D, magnesium deficiency is reasonably common in today's society. But if you eat quinoa and you're taking your supplements properly, you're not going to have a problem with that. Now, quinoa also contains a compound, phytic acid. We talked about this, and it binds with the minerals, reducing the bioavailability. This is why you guys soak your nuts and seeds. And soaking the quinoa removes the phytic acid, allowing for better absorption. If you have a chronic kidney stone issue, don't do a lot of quinoa. You can do some quinoa, but don't do a lot because, and especially if you don't prepare it properly, it could increase oxalic acid kidney stones.
Mm.
And I've had kidney stones, trust me. I'd
Yeah,
rather
not fun.
I'd rather give birth to triplets. I mean, at least you get something for it, right? So metabolic benefits, we've already been through all of that. Helps to, now LDL, everybody knows that's the lethal kind. The total triglyceride counts drop, the production of LDL drops, cholesterol and bad kind of cholesterol falls as much as 16%. So I think you guys see that that's supposed to encourage us. Okay, the idea side, okay, blah, blah, blah. They just keep going on. They're just talking about how you, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the last
so,
one.
all right, I'm gonna unshare. How do I do that here?
Wow, I am so excited.
So I'm going to get back here somehow. And, oh, I have to go down here? No, what do I have to do that? I have to bring this down. Bring that down and stop. Oh, new share. Oh, right here. Good Lord.
You're doing
Stop
great.
You are screen sharing and I keep hitting that. It's a green button. This is
I know, I
a big
accidentally
red
hit it too.
marker, right? It's a big red button. Stop sharing. Okay.
There you go.
There
you are.
Ta-da. So we've got a couple of minutes. Do you, yes, Michelle? Oh,
What?
oh no, I thought you were raising your hand.
I was
You're
just
fixing your camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look good, Michelle.
Oh my gosh. I'm like,
Yeah. I think, did you guys understand why I wanted to talk to you about quinoa? Because
Yeah.
it's a new addition to your life. It's wonderful benefits to your health. And if you have in the morning, your fruit, you take your supplements, you go in and you make your lattes. And lately I've been doing 3 scoops of Osaline because I really want to beef up the protein that I blew with those darn antibiotics.
Mm.
Somebody mute. Are we getting feedback? Okay, so But then if you have a wonderful latte and it's filled with your cup to a cup and a half of your milks, you know, whatever milk you're using, goat or unsweetened soy milk, all that stuff, then you're pretty full after that latte. But then if you go into a nice bowl of quinoa, you're good to go. And that's just such a good food to go in and really give you energy and help your guts. And you know, you're supposed to be having 3 to 4 bowel movements a day. Trust me, you're gonna go, whoa, woman on the run. So do you guys have any questions? I really like what I'm hearing. What, Margie?
So if I make up a big amount and then eat some and put it in the fridge, how do I warm it up? I do not use a microwave.
You can put it back into a little pot, add a little bit of water, and you just heat it up to where the steam starts to heat it up itself.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can throw butter in there as well.
I am so excited about this. You have no idea.
You're a cheap.
Yeah,
I
never-
love quinoa. And I haven't eaten it in over 2 years because I thought I couldn't.
Oh,
Well,
I
see,
just never understood it.
This is a game changer.
Yeah.
for me.
I know, I'm so excited that it's on phase 1 because I love that. And that's what I used to do when I go on phase 2. And now to know that, that's great. Thank you.
well, I think
It's amazing.
who said I didn't understand it?
Me, Barbara.
There you go, Barbara. See, education is powerful. And now that we all know
is.
about it, make sure you get the organic quinoa, soak it overnight with a nice, there it is. There's one of the pictures.
And you're getting it at Costco?
Yeah, she got it at Costco,
Okay.
but I get it at Sprouts or Trader Joe's.
Okay.
You can
Yeah,
get
I've
it
got all of them.
online too, by the way. And
Yeah, I'm deep, Northern
by
Virginia, we got
next week-
everything.
by next week, Tuesday, I want to see how you guys like your quinoa.
So I have a question now that I'm like in reboot, how many years later? With talking to Manic Tech today, they said that the GI Zyme's different now. It's packets and not the pills anymore, and that you should only do 1 a day. Is that what we're saying?
No, that's not what we're saying.
Okay, because I was like, we take it with every meal,
Yes, with every protein.
every protein. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Protein.
This
No.
is, but it's also a soaked grain. I mean, soaked seed. So
Right. You
it-
said earlier that you don't have to take it with this.
you don't if you don't have bowel problems.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you have
yeah, but
digestive
meats.
problems, it's a benefit. How can you go wrong with helping your body to digest with a natural enzyme?
Mhm. But if you're eating eggs or meat, definitely do the GI Zyme. Okay.
If you eat 8 ribs, you should be doing that.
Yeah, maybe 2. Maybe 2, Jackie.
We're all human, you guys, you know, what is it? To err is
Human, to
What
air is,
human.
air is human, and I can't remember what the divine part is. Gosh.
That wasn't very divine 2 weeks after I ate that, but, and I was like in the.
Oh, wait, I think
bathroom.
to forgive is
Oh, yeah.
divine. To err is human, to forgive is
So forgive
divine.
yourself.
Yes.
Well, I can now because I can have decent bowel movements. Before it's like, where's mom? Where's mom? I'm in the bathroom. What'd you do? I saw those 8 ribs. All right. So you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for joining. Again,
I have a question. Sorry.
spit it out. What?
I just want to like confirm like the proper combining with this quinoa. So we should not eat any eggs with the quinoa because
It's a
that's
plant,
animal
Michelle. It's
Yeah,
a seed.
plant-based protein.
Plant.
So we can put
Yeah.
nuts in it and we can
Yes.
put vegetables in it.
Yes. And a little bit of salad if you want to throw it into a nice little salad.
Some
Right.
arugula and some kale. Okay.
And
And
how many grams, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but you probably do because you know everything.
Not really.
How much? So I remember my cousin telling me that some doctor told her this once, and I don't know what the answer is, but how much protein are you supposed to have in a day in order to lose weight? Like if you don't have a certain amount of protein, you're not going to lose weight.
No, I mean, you could starve yourself to death with no protein and then you'll get real skinny and die. So
Oh,
Now, if you want to know how much protein a body should have, but everybody's body is different.
Mhm.
So I'll get you the exact, I wrote a whole thing on that. I'll get you a whole thing on that. But it doesn't matter because you're to eat whenever you're hungry. You don't overeat, you don't undereat. It's what you eat and how you eat it.
Mhm.
So you're doing good. You don't even, you could go a long time without eating at all because you have some fat to live off of.
Yeah, but I feel like that it doesn't your body hold on to fat when you starve it.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So I'm not saying you should do that, but I mean, after a while, you can starve to death. And if you starve to death, you're skin and bones. So you can, so don't worry about that. Don't get in the weeds about that. God didn't say, okay, I'm going to develop you guys and make you wonderful humans, but I want you to measure your proteins with what you eat and when All right, guys.
And then Jackie, what's our email again? Sorry.
Flush your fat 4 good @gmail.com. Was that Barbara?
Okay.
Jack,
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Thank you, ma'am.
one thing, would you post the, how to get that article for those of us who aren't with a camera?
Yes.
So we can look? Can
Great
you post that
idea.
on our?
Who said that? Is that Linda?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Great idea. And the clock's ticking and I got to say goodbye, you guys, because I don't know what
Okay.
we're going to do now.
All
I
right.
love you.
Bye,
And
Jackie.
until next Tuesday, we'll meet up again. Okay.
I'm happy to be home again.
Yes.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.